Hello everyone and welcome to another Hallyu Caesar review, special Sirlin Games Week. Today is day 4 and we will be reviewing Pandante. We've already looked at Yomi and Flash Duel, and we'll go ahead and take a look at Puzzle Strike tomorrow. So let's go ahead and take a look at Pandante. There's a few different versions available of this game. This is the very nice Deluxe edition. It comes in a travel version as well as just the regular version, and we'll kind of show you a little bit of the differences there. But this Deluxe version is very nice. The box here is kind of a faux leather type material, so very nice feel to that. You open it up and it is velvet lined, which is very nice. Up here on the lid you got some elastics here to hold in the player boards. There are 6 of those, as well as the game instructions fit in there as well. Besides that, you have a plastic, just a regular plastic insert here, and you have a spot for your dealer button, and the dealer button itself, double-sided, and it is the other side reminds you that the dealer will act last. A little sleeping panda there. Okay, the insert is nice here, as well as providing little divots there to easily pull out the components. So this is your box here. As you can see from my hand here, this is slightly larger deck of cards than normal poker deck, and very nice box here, quality again as well. And there isn't a whole lot of art in the game. We'll go on and show you the cards and stuff, but I really like the simplistic nature of it, and it makes it feel pretty classy, I think. So other than that, this Deluxe version comes with these very nice quality, high quality poker chips. Very nice weight to them, and a good ceramic type feel to the poker chips themselves. You have 4 different version of the chips to delineate different values here. We got 1, 2s, 5s, and 10s, or you can change the variations, the values of these how you see fit. But we have a little bamboo, we have a little card for the red, for the blue we have this nice diamond, and for the black we have the black and gold here, we have a little panda. So very nice chips. This Deluxe version I believe is still running around $100, although there is a Kickstarter out right now. It's my featured Kickstarter, and it is Pandante Light and Dark, and it is it's an expansion to this, but there's also been some kind of updated rules that I'll mention at the end of this video review. But you can still get the base game, and you can still get a hold of these really nice chips, poker chips. They are just fantastic. Really impressed with those. Like them a lot. So there's the box, and we'll go ahead and show you the cards and some of the other components. Okay, so I kind of showed you where the player boards would go if you're going to put these away. You do have 6 of these, blank side on one side, and then the other side here will show you the different possibilities that you can bet, what sort of hands that you can bet on. You'll notice there's a few additions here, and 5 of a kind might seem a little odd. Well, as I said, it's not a regular poker deck. Besides the cards being a larger size here, which are pretty cool, there is 6 different suits, and the colors are represented right down here as well. 6 different suits. We have red, green, orange, blue, black, and purple. And the cards actually run numbered 1 through 10, and there is one Joker card in the deck as well. So there's 60 cards in here, plus the Joker. And so the cards here, basic layout of those, you have the number, you also have the number represented by number of bamboo. And at the bottom of the card, you have the color represented as well by name. And then you also have a icon for to represent the action, special ability that you can take with that color. And we'll explain that later on as well. But like I said, the artwork is pretty fun for these little pandas. It's the same panda represented on each of the different colors. Okay, so for all the green ones, you're going to have the same artwork. Okay, so with that out of the way there's the cards. Very, very good quality cards. So going back to the review of this, as far as the quality of components, the cards are very nice. They are not, like a linen finish, but they are good quality, regular card stock there. Okay, so we have our player board, and it is nice and thick. Try to bend that, and so it's not just a sheet of paper. It's really nice quality there. Besides the actual deck of cards, what you're going to have in here as well is each of the players. There will be 6 challenge cards, one for each player. On the one side, it kind of gives you a little bit of, the rule reference on calling out abilities and calling out poker hands for this version 1. And everyone has this just reference card here, structure of play, and it will guide you through the game. So very, very nice. I really, really appreciate games that include some sort of reference guide to the rules for every player. There's, sometimes they provide that on like the back of the rule book or something, but it's really beneficial. I find that people have their own reference cards, so I think that is really great. All right, so those are all the quality components, quality aspect of the components and what you find in the box. Oh, I almost forgot. And there's just one more thing here. We have the 6 Panda Lords. There's just 6 of these, one in each of the colored suits. And it's interesting, they're represented here. Going back to the player board as well, you have happy pandas, which is the red, green, and orange, and sad pandas, which are represented by the blue, black, and purple. And the Panda Lords will kind of cover later in the game. So the other thing here I need to cover before I show you the gameplay itself is the rule book. It is pretty well done here with the different illustrations and things of that nature. Nothing amazing about it, but it suits its purpose. And at the very end, I'll talk about a few things in the newer version as far as different rules that will make the game a little more simpler as well. And that's not to say that this game is really complicated, but he's made it David's just made it simpler. So let's go ahead and show you a little bit of what the gameplay would look like. So you shuffle the deck here. The dealer would go ahead and deal out 2 cards to each player. And those would be face down to each player, and each player separately, they would be able to take a look at their cards. I'm going to go ahead and just lay these out in front of me for a second so that it'll be a little bit easier for me to show you what's going on. But again, these 2 cards here would remain hidden to all of the other opponents. Okay, so once those are dealt out, or really before each round, what you're going to do is everyone's going to ante 1 gold into the middle, into the pot. Okay, after we've done the ante phase, what we're going to do is we're going to reveal the splash, and you'll see really this resembles Texas Hold'em poker, and there is a few differences obviously, but you'll see a lot of similarities as well. So everyone has 2 secret cards, and then there are 3 community cards currently from the splash, and we'll go around and there's a betting round. Okay, now in version 1 you cannot fold in this round at this point, and you will actually find that in Pandante you will actually find yourself folding a lot less than normal poker. And with the gameplay, I think you'll probably see why. So once we've done that, there's a betting round, and this is where it's very different than Texas Hold'em. Everyone is on their own player boards going to evaluate their cards and figure out which of these do they think, which of these do they say that they have, okay? So at this point, this person has a 3 and a 6, and we have a 1, 2, 4, so he's looking like he would be able to do a straight. So he's going to go ahead and bet 2, exactly 2 gold, and place it on straight to represent that he's betting on a straight. We come over here, we have an 8 and a 5, both orange. There is an orange out there. So this player is going to go ahead and he is going to bet on a floosh. Okay, that's maybe something you haven't heard of before, unless you are a gambling panda yourself. A floosh is something that you have basically the 4 of one color. Okay, the other things here that I'll mention, there's a rainbow straight, which may be new to you as well, which is a straight in 5 different colors, and we're making a 5, best of 5 card hand between our 2 hidden cards and the community cards that will come out. There's 4 of a kind, which is normal. A floosh. A flush, I get them. Floosh is 4 and flush is 5 of a kind, 5 of the same color. And here we have 5 of a kind, alright, so 5 of the same number. And a straight flush is the highest one, which is a straight in all the same color. Alright, so this person is going to bet on a floosh. Now, when you bet on something, the one thing to remember is that you can never bet in future rounds lower. So I am stuck with a straight at least. I can never bet lower. I'm either going to end up folding or continuing to bet on the straight. Okay, so you can only bet in future rounds equal to or higher than where you're at now. Okay, once everyone has done the betting round, 2 gold on exactly what they think, then we go for snacks. Panda loves to eat, alright? So what happens now is the snack round, and we go around, and the person who has the highest bet, in this case this player here, has bet a floosh, which is higher than a straight. So this person, the person with the highest, gets to snack for free. And what that means is he gets to draw a card from the deck, take a look at it, mix it up with his other 2 cards so the players can't tell what he's doing. He wants to really stick with these oranges. He's hoping to get some more oranges out. So what he's going to do is he's going to discard this card face down into the discard pile. And we'll go ahead and put that horizontally here to represent a different pile so we don't get it mixed up. Okay, so then when this player's turn, they have the option. They don't have to take a snack if they don't want to, but if they want to take a snack, they're going to take the highest bid, the highest current bid, which in this case, a 2-player game, is a floosh, and he's going to count down. So 1, 2. So he would have to spend 2 gold for every hand lower. Okay, so he'd have to spend 4 gold. At this point, he's feeling pretty good too. So he's just gonna leave it. He's gonna hope for a 5 here. So he's not gonna do a snack at this point. Okay, and it's interesting, that mechanic is pretty nice actually, because the goal of this game is to, really the prime goal is to win a hand by lying and deceiving people, and that's the way that you can end up with these special Panda Lords. And so really that whole snacking thing is kind of nice, this whole mechanic, because it really pushes people to bet kind of higher earlier on, right out of the gate, so that they can get free snacks. Whereas if you bet low and play it more safe, you're going to be spending more gold to do that. So very, very cool there. So after that, we're going to go from that betting round, we go to the pause. Okay, so we come up, and basically what that means is we're just going to flip over another card. Okay, a black 5. Okay, so he's liking that. He's locked in his straight at this point, but that's a pretty easy hand. Over here, he has a 5. He has 2 5s. Not anything real fancy there. So he's not feeling too great at the moment. You know what? I think they're both gonna stay at this point. So this betting round, you can increase the bid if you wanted to. If you wanted to move from a straight to, say, a rainbow straight. Let's see here. He has a red, blue, orange, black. So he's still gonna stick with his regular straight. Okay. He realizes that he will have to pay for a snack. If he wants to do that, and then the dealer here will act last, and he's going to bid 2 as well, either equal or higher. With the 3 orange, he's still gonna stick with that as well. Okay, nothing too exciting this round. So then we go to the snack round again. Now I think orange here, the player here with the orange cards, he's gonna take his free snack. All right, why not? Ooh, a purple 2. Okay, I think he's gonna end up switching this out. Okay, he's gonna switch this out. Well, maybe not. Yeah, he's gonna switch this out. Okay. Make it so that his opponent can't really tell what's going on there. And over here, does he want a snack? He wants to snack. He already has the straight. Maybe he can try to go for a rainbow straight. So he's going to pay 4 into the middle to take a snack. Oh, it's a black. Okay, well, he's going to go ahead and get rid of this 6 so that he has a 2. He still has his straight. Okay. Alright. So then, from that round, we come to the tail. We're going to go ahead and flip over another card. A red 5. Okay, this is getting interesting. We have over here, he now has 3 5s. And a 2, so he has a full house, but again, he can't revert back to this to be safe. Everyone, he's betting on a flush, and everyone thinks he's going for a flush. Having a full house at this point does not help him. He could try to hope for a 4 of a kind if he plays his cards right here, if he can do the abilities. So let's go ahead and take a look over here. We have 1, 2, and 3s. He's really just kind of stuck with the straight at the moment. nothing else is looking real beneficial. But if you don't bid big, you may not end up with anything here. So he's bet on a straight. He's going to go ahead and take 2, and he's going to go all out. He's going to go, well, yeah, the straight flush wouldn't make sense, but he's going to say that he has upgraded to a rainbow straight. Okay, now we come over here, and he's going to bid up as well. With the 2 5s out there, he's thinking that he could maybe pull out one even higher, a 4 of a kind. Maybe he has 2 5s, or he can end up with 2 5s. Okay, so now what it comes down to, this one, there's no snacking. All right, it is the tail. This is the very end of this gambit, and so now it goes to the ability round. So this player here can utilize an ability. Now usually you would only be able to utilize the ability of the color of cards that you have in your hand, but this is a big bluffing game, and pandas like to bluff. So if there's one of these other actions or one of these abilities that you would rather do, you can say that I'm going to do that other ability. Okay, so let's see here. What does he want to do? He is going for the rainbow straight. Currently he does not have that. He has a red, blue, orange, and orange black. So he needs that one. He either needs a 3 or a 4 in some other color, which is very doable. So what does he want to do here? What are the different things here, different abilities? We'll go quickly run through these for you. So the red action, or red ability, is if you choose and say that you're going to perform bravery, then you would be able to, each other player must pay 5 gold to the pot or fold. So you may not even end up winning that round, but you may be able to get 5 gold out of this thing. Okay. Green is you'll be able to draw a card, then discard a card, and reveal a card you kept. So you'll have to reveal something of your hand, but it's basically you're using that as kind of a free snack, if you will. The orange is luck. You're going to deal a 6th community card, or if there's one already dealt, you may replace that. So that's interesting. You get another card, but that's also providing another opportunity for your opponents. The sad pandas are a little bit different. This blue one here, you can privately see a random card from the highest hand to help you figure out if you want to call them on their bluff or not. For example, you can perform greed and steal 5 gold from the lowest hand unless they color reveal blue. You cannot steal from a blue panda. And you must buy breakfast next gambit. Basically the breakfast, I didn't mention that in the very beginning because you wouldn't do that in the beginning. If you've had your hand from the previous round, then in this version 1 you would need to pay 2 gold to buy a new hand of cards. Purple here is hopelessness. Basically you fold, you take back your last bet, and then draw a new hand. So you can't do any other ability. You can do up to 2 abilities in this. So what does he want to do? He wants to see if he can get a 3 or 4 in a different color. And he can either do that by doing luck, which we have orange, or we can do green and draw another card and discard. Let's go ahead and say orange. The black, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to perform luck. Okay, and yeah, let's say for just this reference, I'm just going to perform the luck action. Okay, so at this point in time, there's the ability to challenge. We go to our challenge card here. The other players, if they can attempt to call out the ability. If I lied, then I keep my card secret and I just confess that I was lying and my abilities don't happen, and I pay each challenger 5 gold. If I told the truth, what I would do was conveniently, how the cards are set up is, instead of showing, okay, this, I have a 3 orange, I can show them that I was telling the truth, that I had orange, by covering it up with my challenge card and show them the orange without revealing my number, and then they would have to pay me 5 gold. Okay, so that's how you challenge an ability and use the abilities. We're going to go ahead and he's going to assume that I'm telling the truth, and I'm going to pull out another card. Not what I wanted, okay? But being the great panda player that I am, gambling panda, I'm gonna pretend like that's exactly what I wanted and continue on. So the other player also has the ability to do something here. Okay, they are going for the 4 of a kind. They have 3 5s currently. They need an additional one. He's not really worried so much about drawing a 5. That would help me. So he's going to say he has an orange as well. Since he does have an orange, he doesn't want to risk doing the green. So he's going to do that. I'm not going to challenge him on that either. And it comes out a 6 in green. Okay, this is interesting. Got to check something here. Oh no, I got the 3 and 4 here still orange for the rainbow straight. So neither player has what they say they have. At this point, though, there is one additional thing you can. There's a last chance to claim a higher hand. Okay, so if I want to, I could claim a higher hand by placing 2 gold on something else. And this becomes pretty vital because now, after all of that is done, we resolve challenges on poker hands. Okay, so it goes around, and so we go to the highest player, which is this player. He says he has a 4 of a kind. There's 2 5s out there. He did pull out another card, and it wasn't a 5. So at this point, this player is going to go ahead and challenge him on his hand. If he doesn't challenge him, what happens is that this player actually wins. He collects all of the money on his and all the other players' betting boards, as well as any in the middle of the pot here as well. They're all represented in the middle, and he wins. He has at this point in time the opportunity and would reveal, in this case I do believe I would reveal that my hand is a 2 and a 5. I did not have it, and at that point he won by lying, so he would be able to pick one of the Panda Lords, which gives special abilities for future rounds. For example, Fern here, he's the black one representing with the ability there. You're the only one who can perform the steal ability, and when you do, you steal the double the amount. Whenever you end a gambit without stealing, winning, or tying, return Fern to the Glen. Here's the Glen over here. For this orange guy, hidden stash, next gambit, you get a 3rd private card, but you can use at most 2 private cards to make a hand. So you have an additional one you're working with. If you win that gambit alone, then you get only half of the pot, and those tied for second place split the other half. At the end of the gambit, he goes back to the Glen. Other ones, Trickster, after the pause before betting, you may swap one of your private cards with one of the community cards. Kind of an interesting one. Lazy Day, you get the dealer button while Bumbleclawed watches over you. Okay, so basically you always get to act last. And whenever you end a gambit without folding from the purple ability, winning or tying, you return him to the Glen. Let's see, other card, Tragic Fate. During the ability phase, you can look at the private cards of any one player, plus play up to 2 abilities from your hand as usual, and then you return him, so you can get a little more insight. And Waggles here, he seems to be very, very popular. Triple play during the ability phase. You can play up to 3 different abilities that can't be challenged, plus up to 1 more from your hand, which could be challenged, and then return Waggles to the Glen. So pretty cool, pretty powerful abilities there. And so yeah, but I challenged him, and he can reveal or choose not to, but he basically says, okay, I don't have it. They can keep their cards secret at this point, because then they would need to choose to get new cards if they wanted new cards, or they could hold on to those at the breakfast phase. But anyway, so they lied. They pay each of the challengers 5 gold, and then it goes to the next highest in a 2-player game. That's pretty simple. Comes to him, and he could, at this point, I mean, he's kind of out. But in the newer version as well, that you can call out, challenge even when you've folded or gone out. So he's feeling a little out, so he's gonna not challenge. Rainbow Straight, he did not have it. He had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but he had 2 oranges there, and he needed a different color. So he could reveal then and get the Panda Lord there. So that is Pandante. And obviously there's probably a few things that I'm sure, little things that I missed, but that's the gist of the game. And the other thing here I mentioned on the challenges, if, for example, one of these players actually did have the hand and they were challenged, then they would reveal their cards to prove they told the truth, and each challenger pays them 5 times the number of players in gold. So a 2-player game, 5 times the number of players, so you get 10 gold on that. So pretty cool. What do I think of Pandante, and what are the differences in the some of the differences in the new version? I really like Pandante. The deluxe version is really nice. I'm in love with these poker chips. But let me try to focus on the game itself. Again, the deluxe version is just beautiful, great quality. But the game is really fun. And what I found is actually when I've played it with my friends, and I've played it with friends who don't particularly like playing poker. Now, Texas Hold'em, I think, is the most popular, I would say, poker variant. And so that's, definitely helps in this game from the start there. And so the community cards, the secret cards, all of that is great. What Pandante does is it makes it very unique with this element of betting. Okay, so you're not having the I bet 2 and then you raise, match that and raise me 2, and you're going around and around and around. It keeps the game moving at a good pace, and it makes it interesting, the fact that the whole snacking thing, where you kind of want to bet high at the beginning so that you're on the higher end, so you get free snacks. And you have the opportunity, you may actually achieve that higher thing. So it really, that mechanic works extremely well to make sure that it doesn't feel too stagnant, I guess, of people just being like, oh 3 of a kind, and being too conservative. Because if you stay down here too often, you're going to end up with 3 other people with higher hands, and in order you to win that way, all the other ones would have to be called out, and they would have to be lying for it to get to you. So it really pushes people to push the boundaries here. And then not only that, but then you have these special abilities that are going to be in play that you may not have that hand until you use your special abilities, and that really helps you, in getting that hand, or, even, trying to bluff as much as you can, and then, I'm gonna use the blue, and I'm gonna use the purple. I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna take back my gold because I know I'm gonna be called out or something, and I'm gonna end up paying someone else 5 gold. So very, very cool abilities. The thing I didn't mention here is the Joker. Simply, that is any color, any number, and there's kind of a limit here in the first version that if you win and you have to show a Joker to prove that you have what you have or whatever, you would only get half of the pot. Excuse me. But that's changed a little bit in the new variant. Basically, the only thing here is, instead of only getting half the pot, if you have to show it or whatever, that just, if you were tied and say, you had 2 4-of-a-kinds, the person who didn't have the Joker would then win. They would have the one up on the other person with the Joker. So but yeah, very, very interesting. And like I said, friends who don't enjoy or haven't enjoyed playing poker really, really enjoyed this. They enjoyed the abilities. They enjoyed the difference, having 6 suits, something different where you have 6 suits and you have some of these other fun little, 4 of one color or 5 of one color, the rainbow straight. So there's some new fun things there. Trying to get the Panda Lords and win by lying. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of bluffing there, and then there's the whole idea of, okay, well, do I want to challenge him? There's a whole lot of lying going in this game, but if you challenge him and you're wrong, then you're going to be paying out. So very, very fun there. The other thing that I failed to mention in this version, and I believe in the new version as well, it stays, but he wanted to make it so that there was not any player elimination. So you're never going to run out of money necessarily. It's kind of nice so that you're playing to a certain number. So with like 2 players in this first variant, first person to get 80 gold wins, and everyone starts with 50. And the newer version, I think everyone starts with 40 or 44 or something like that. But the little gold fairy here would basically come if you're out of money and end up giving you, 20 more gold to seed you with. So that, in addition, makes it so that people are maybe a little more risky. It keeps the game, the pace really good, player interaction, and players more willing to bluff and lie. Because, if you do that, you can still get back in the game with 20 gold. Now, you may not, depending on how early in the game, it may be kind of difficult for you to get back, but at least you're going to be in the game, and you're not just going to be sitting out bored. So that's really cool. Other things with the new version, instead of everyone having their own player boards here, he's created this big player mat that all the bets go on this one thing. It makes it easier to see what's going on. Really, really like that concept. The abilities, these special Panda Lord abilities and everything, they don't get used very often, and so the newer version, you have the abilities aren't related to the color aspect here, and the abilities just seems like will be able to get used more often, which is really cool. There's the expansion for the Kickstarter that adds like casino cards that each gambit will have a different casino card that will change the rules for that gambit. Different things there. And so just some really, really cool things. I encourage you to check out the Kickstarter expansion. I encourage you to check out Pandante, the base game here. Very, very fun, colorful, components, very top notch. And yeah, so if you like bluffing games, I'd highly encourage this. I think you'll like it a lot. If you're not into, bluffing games at all, this may be a tougher one for you to get into. But I wouldn't rule it out, because like I said, my friends who didn't like poker, they really enjoyed Pandante. So, it's worth giving it a try. And yeah, love it. So fantastic, check it out. That is Pandante. And tomorrow we will be checking out my absolute favorite Sirlin game, which is Puzzle Strike. And I don't have the other box here at the moment, but we'll go ahead and take a look. There's 2 different box sets that you can get. And so very excited to show that to you to finish out this week, and we'll see you tomorrow.